not going to take any more time because these guys right here are ready to play some amazing music. So thank you again for being here at Crossroads. Let's hear it for Grayson. Corky.
He's just messing with y'all because my bio was way too long. He didn't want to go into it. And I said, it's all good. How are y'all doing? Thanks for coming through the rain. We loaded in just in time. I don't know which Sean, I don't know if this is like 5th time here or good Lord. So I feel like it's home away from home. And we're just feeling pretty good. Right now we went to the little RV green room right there and they tortured us with some Woodford, so. Bells ring in the morning, bringing in the day. I woke up from a dream of the girl who got away. Sometimes I feel I have let you down, make me want to run off to a foreign town. But I write it down, write it down, write it down, write it down. So goes my destiny. But I write it down, write it down, write it down. So goes my destiny. You call me on the phone, you wanna be with me tonight. You say you need me in Biloxi, I'll be sure to treat you right. The sun shines through my hotel window pane. I wonder to myself why the hell I ever came. Gonna write it down, write it down. So goes my destiny. Gonna write it down, write it down, write it down, write it down. So goes my destiny. No one knows where I've been when I go back to Seymour, Indiana. Once again, once again. Corky Hughes on this map still. All this life on the road has made me this way. Gasoline and greasy food and looking for a place to stay. You think you know me? Sometimes I think you do. But remember, my friends, I think I know you too. So I write it down, write it down, write it down, write it down. So goes my destiny. Write it down, write it down, write it down, write it down. So goes my destiny. No one knows where I've been when I go. Oh, I go back again. I write it down, I write it down, I write it down. Thank you. I figured I'd start with that little thing. I just wrote it. We had a songwriters festival, and what do? They write that shit down. Unless they got a really good memory, like Ronnie Van Zant, Leonard Skinner. He never wrote anything down. He'd just sit out there by the water and listen to the band rehearse, and then recite these lyrics in his head, and then he'd go in and do it. So he's one person I know of that didn't write it down. So I'm Grayson Caps. This is Corky Hughes. We're from L.A. Lower Alabama. I'm not a liar. Everything I write up is, they say, play what you know, and I say. So I'm just going to kind of get to it. I moved to New Orleans, Louisiana from Alabama when I was 18. And I fell in love with this washboard player. And I would like to take you with me on the first day that I saw her. Standing on the corner of Royal Street on a Sunday afternoon, out there by the old A&B, barefoot in the sun of June, I saw her playing with the big bass band, with Augie Jr. on guitar. I saw her play with John Mooney too, uptown at Madigan's bar. Washboard Lisa, wash away your sins, let them go down the drain. Every time you move your dirty little hands, takes away our fears and our pain. I said hello to her out there on the streets. The boys, I looked into her eyes. She said that she knew Tom Robbins. Oh, I believed it was a laugh, and it was the truth later on. But how can New Orleans be so good to a lucky strike smoking queen with a rip in her dress and dirty toes, living life like a dream? Washboard Lisa, wash away your sins, let them go down the drain. Every time you move your dirty little hands, takes away our fears and our pain. Washboard Lisa, wash away your sins, let them go down the drain. Every time you move your dirty little hands, takes away our fears and our pain. Washboard Lisa, wash away your sins, let them go down the drain. Every time you move your dirty little hands, takes away our fears and our pain. everybody got wet. We're all kind of soggy.
How are you doing?
I'm soggy. we got in a predicament last night with a friend from Lexington. Played there last night, and he's notorious for bringing out this little anvil case with Eagle Rare in it. Yeah, right. And but no, his particular is either the 10-year or the 20-year, and his name's Eric, and he works for Wood Songs in Lexington. But it's a whole little ceremony. He opens it up, has little shot glasses in there and foam, pours the shots. We all say hello to each other because we're really good friends. We haven't seen each other in a while. Take a shot, and then he closes it up, and that's it. And it's just a beautiful thing. But then he does it again and again later on. That's why I feel so good today. Speaking of which, there's ways to get over that kind of feeling. This is a song that I actually wrote for the Mormon Tabernacle Choir about getting over hangover. Because, y'all have not heard shit from them in a long time, right? When's the last time you heard them on the radio? I got the song for them. It's called A Bag of Weed, and it goes like this. Driving down that old dirt road, past a chicken van, the rusty on stove, wore out tires and bags of trash. I'm high on whiskey, I'm low on cash. Tell you, Mom, tell you, Paul, don't you worry if I don't call. I'm out in the woods past the cypress grove. When I'm coming back, baby, I don't know. I don't know. I got a bag of weed, a case of beer, a little George Nickel, some American spirits. Spending the night out in the woods, hoping it might do me some good. A few Quay's houses burned and gone. The cows in the pasture have all gone home. Pond in the lowland is done run dry. Blue sky days and turn to night. You hurt me good, you hurt me hard. I never thought you'd go that far. But love's a lot like gasoline. It might burn messy, it might run clean. Don't you worry, don't you cry. I ain't no verge of suicide. Like an old snake shedding his skin, crawling out and crawling back in this human race, searching for my sacred place. With a bag of weed, a case of beer, little George Nickel, some American spirits. A bag of weed, a case of beer, little George Nickel, some American spirits. Spend the night out in the woods, hoping might do me some good. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Do me some good. Yeah, yeah, yeah. When I said, woo, ow, son, look out. What? Except for maybe to the grocery store. Like I said, around his house and paint, lets you think the things you're gonna think. You're gonna think. Young man Corey stole his car. He trashed it to hell and it's back in the yard. No remorse and there ain't no shame. It stands as a statue to a young man's game. A young man's game. I ain't pointing no fingers, I can identify. A selfish man is built to the lie. Cold hard truths like a hammer in the teeth. Hurts like hell and they don't give you no peace. No peace. So out in the wildwood singing the song about a good man that's done gone wrong. Trying to rise above it all while the leaves of the trees are starting to fall. They can wait for the cold hard freeze. Ain't it funny how this life can bring you to your knees? Ain't it funny how this life can bring you to your knees? I got a bag of weed, a case of beer, a little George, some American spirit. A bag of weed, a case of beer, a little George, some American spirit. I mean, you can hear the Mormon Tabernacle Choir sing that, right? A bag of weed, a case of beer, a little George, some American spirit. A bag of weed, a case of beer, a little George, But I don't have the Mormon Tabernacle Choir. I've got this choir here, the nice Columbus choir. Got a bag of weed, a case of beer, a little George, some American spirits. Bag of weed, a case of beer, a little George. Oh, it's a rehearsal. I sing my song, a simple refrain, while the cold wind and turn to rain. Red clay road and turn to mud. Cold brown liquor warms my blood. Icicles hanging on the old barbed wires. Too wet outside to build a fire. Spend the night in a pickup truck. The stereo and the windows. Oh, the stereo roll. The windows. Oh. It's about old boy from L.A. He said I wasn't from, but I am from. You got a lot of logging roads down there, a lot of pine trees, and often when the trees start to grow back, the logging roads will close up, all but for maybe like a football field's length going into there, because the people out in the woods get lazy sometimes. They throw their trash down those roads, or they go hang out, or they get in trouble with their wife. This is about a fella in an old truck, got 3 kids with 3 different women, and they all hate his guts. He found himself down a logging road in the coldest week that LA has to offer. That'll be probably February. It actually does get cold down there. Cold and wet, like a night like tonight. He's in an old truck, listening to new country music, can't find anything to suit his soul. And what does he do? Well, he's got those 4 friends, you know, the bag of weed, a case of beer, little George Dickens, some American spirits. That's making things better, but he just needs the right song. So he dares to go to the AM station. But he does it. This is what he hears. And he keeps messing around, but he finally latches on to something. And what is it but none other than the Mormon Tabernacle Choir and their hit song, A Bag of Weed, coming in with it. You know it's a hit song because you don't listen to the AM radio. And like I said, I don't have them with me. I got you with me, and you know the words. I'm going to sing it. Just like that fella, he turned it up in his truck. Let's go. Got a bag of weed, case of beer, little George, some American spirits. A bag of weed, case of beer, little George, so come on now. Got a bag of weed, case of beer, little George, some American spirits. A bag of weed, case of beer, keep it going, keep on. Spend the night out in the woods, hoping tonight to do me some good. Yeah, yeah. Some good. Yeah, one more time. Sounds just like the Mormon Tabernacle Choir. Oh, so he felt pretty good after that. See, we are out on the road probably on average, because I actually do my taxes and I'm never happy about it. It's such a pain in the ass when there's a lot of people don't pay their taxes, and they're the ones that actually make a difference. I don't know why they fucking tax me. I ain't got shit, but it's... But, I don't know why I was talking about that. guess it's taxi.
Because we were just talking about that.
We were just talking about that, yeah. Well, oh, I know what it was. We're out on the road. The reason I know how many shows I do is because I do my taxis. And it's usually about 180 shows a year, and that's all. I'm glad that you acknowledge that. It's like, I feel like I'm in a video game or something. 180 shows a year. Yep, okay. I've been doing that for ever since I was in my 30s. 20s. The reason I stay energetic and love to do it, though, is what we're doing right now. There's a lot of work to get to here, but it's not you or me. There's some kind of magical thing that happens in between, and I thank you guys for supporting live music. What makes it possible is such a good feeling to share stuff all together, and we're all in this space, and it's a manipulation of time and space that's wonderful, and how you use it is valuable. The best advice I ever got was from my father when I started to do this. He said, son, if you're going to play music for a living, you got one responsibility, and that is to provide hope. And if you can't provide hope, don't do it. And at this point in my life, I do think that's everybody's responsibility. No matter what you do, if you can't provide hope, don't do it. We need you to love what you do. It's a fragile world. And people can be mean out there. You know that when they're mean, you can't take it back. The I love yous cannot be said enough. But the one moment somebody says, you're an asshole, you will remember that the rest of your life. You're like, yeah, well, I'm sorry. You're like, yeah, whatever. And that stuff piles up. And that's what can end relationships and stuff like this. So be careful. Be nice to one another. I know it seems trite, but love is the reason we're all here, ladies and gentlemen. One way or another, there's some loving going on. Get your ass here. Woo! So those negative things you can't take back. You can't turn around. Woo! Now you ordered up in the restaurant. You didn't get the thing you wanted. Sorry, darling. You can't turn around. Just because I loitered, I got the sandwich I ordered. There's only one life you lead. You got to make it count. Like baby, keep on going. Can't turn around. Ooh, you can't turn around. You can't turn around. You can't turn around. Can't turn around. Woo! Corky Hughes on the guitar.
Now I got you singing, we can get some of those,
It just feels good to sing. This is my psychotherapy 101, really is. If I go several days without singing, I start to feel really weird. I'm weird anyway, but it's like real weird. But since I got you guys kind of warmed up on singing, I'd like to share with you this song. Are you doing okay?
She's trying to think of one of your songs, and she has to explain it.
Oh, we can do that. We can, man. Let me do one more sing along, and then we'll get to this.
We're already warmed up.
We're warmed up. So now these days, people can get angry and not know how to channel their energy. I'd like to share with you a life-changing experience that happened in my 20s. I had my first band. It was called the House Levelers. We got signed to New Orleans management, and it was a big deal. We got a record deal with Tipitina's Records. We were the first band that Tipitina's ever signed. When they signed, they started doing records. They don't do that anymore. But it felt honored to be picked up by a management agency when I was 21. And it was called New Orleans Management, but I started to be suspect about it when I looked at the letterhead they sent me. It said, no management. I kind of thought, oh, that's cool, New Orleans Management, we're good. And then they said, look, we want to work with you, and we're not going to charge you anything. We want to develop you, and when you start to make money, we all start to make money, then we'll start taking a percentage. And I was like, this sounds like a great deal. This is awesome. 3 years go by, and I'm not on the cover of the Rolling Stone. And I say, well, look, I don't want to work with you guys anymore. And he says, you owe me $6,000. I was like, I had a lot more energy back then, and anger, and didn't know how to channel it so well. So I crawled on his desk, and I grabbed his tie, and I started to twist it. Meanwhile going, you're a liar. You're a liar. And his face is getting red, but he's got two partners in his law office that come in there and they're looking at me, and his face is starting to turn purple, and I'm crawling on his desk like a snake going, you're a liar. And I look back, and I'm thinking, this is a bad idea. I let him go, and I went home, and I wrote a song. And the reason I'm telling you this story is because there's creative ways to channel your energy, ladies and gentlemen. You don't want to be violent. It's not going to work. wars don't work. It just creates more war and stuff like that. We all know that. So it's the way that you look at life. You can be actionary or reactionary. If you decide to be reactionary, well, you're not really deciding anything at all. You're just reacting, and you're probably going to be pissed off most of the time. But if you're actually working on something, even like cooking in the kitchen makes you separate your mind from everything that's going on. You're creating something. And I think if there's a higher being, the closest we can get to that higher being is by creating something ourselves. That's how you understand what creation is, and that's action versus reaction. So I went home and I wrote a song instead of killing the guy. And it's a sing-along, and a lot of people do it these days, from like Rebirth brass band to Andrews Osborne. I go to Europe and people are doing it all over there. It's a simple 2-chord song, and it's a sing-along since we're all warmed up. It goes like this. It's a better way to channel your energy. creative way to deal with your anger. Write a song about it. Now, this lady here was thinking of a song. It's in the same key, and it's kind of like a similar thing. Got inspired by this fellow named John Mooney, who we're all getting older. That's one thing we do have in common, ladies and gentlemen. And nobody's like, I'm getting older. It's like, no shit. It's just like you don't have any mercy from me. But you want to hear this song about this fence. This is my great uncle. Now, you know,
A lot of people have discovered my music through a movie called A Love Song for Bobby Long, which is John Travolta, Scarlett Johansson, Gabriel Macht, and me. Rough now. And then since then I've been in a movie called Straw Dogs. I was in a movie called Joyride 2. Don't watch that movie. And recently I was in a movie called The Jesus Revolution. And if you think you see me, you do. They were filming in Fairhope, Alabama. That's where I live now. And when they were filming in Fairhope is like a golf cart community, ladies and gentlemen. And they ran short of long-haired freaky people. And so they called me up. And so if you want to play like a religious drinking game, you can take a shot of Kentucky bourbon every time that you see me in this movie. You're going to be lit by the end of the movie. So basically what I'm getting at is being famous is difficult, ladies and gentlemen. I don't recommend it for anybody. I mean, because just a simple task like going to the grocery store. My wife can be like 5 hours later, she says, where were you? I was at the grocery store. She's like, oh, okay. It can take 3, 4, 5 hours to just go to the damn grocery store. You got to talk to somebody in the produce aisle. You got to talk to somebody in the coffee aisle. The worst aisle, people congregate in the ice cream section. So, but I learned how to deal with fame early on, ladies and gentlemen, because my uncle was my great uncle, my granddaddy's brother, named Ed Lee. He was famous in Riverview, Alabama. And people from Bruton, East Bruton, Riverview, all the way to Opp, they knew who the hell he was because he built a fence around his house made out of whiskey bottles and Quickcrete cement. Now you can't make this shit up, ladies and gentlemen. This is everything I sing about is real. And people even tested me out. I have fans go because I give directions at the end of this song that are accurate. And I've had fans go and show up, and I'll tell you about it later, get into the song. So anyway, this is a true story, a special request by my great uncle, Ed Lee. Oh, and let me explain the fence a little bit. You lay the bottle sideways so the sun can shine through. And the fence went around the entire property, and he called it the poor man's stained glass. And because he drank so much whiskey, he also consumed a lot of milk and magnesia. And back then, milk and magnesia came in these little blue glass bottles. And so you got little blue glass interspersed with the whiskey bottles. It's a very pretty fence, you know. Anyway, he said it was designed to keep the chickens in and his wife out. True story about my great uncle Ed Lee. Special request to this young lady here. That's it. 2, 3, 4. The old Uncle Ed Lee was bad to drink. Couldn't hold a job, would just sit there and think. But he had 2 daughters, there's both valedictorian. They graduated in May. They never come back home again. Ed Lee and his wife alone at the house. She held his whiskey above the sink. She poured it all out. And Ed Lee said, look here, woman. Now my job here is done. Packed up his books, was out on the run. Built himself a shack on the Connecticut River. A pretty little place built out of fallen timber. His wife begged him again. She said, Daddy, please come home. He said, there's nothing here but us chickens, and we prefer to be alone.
classic literature from the magazine. He drank a whole entire bottle of whiskey every day. A pile of whiskey bottles began to grow in the shade. He bought himself a sack of that old quick-creek cement, commenced to build himself a whiskey bottle fence of Evan Williams, Jim Beam, Jack Daniels. Oh, you know what I mean? Nothing fancy like wild turkey, Southern Comfort, Rebel Yale, Sir Malcolm. He got to the bottom one day of a bottle of Old Crow, and up to heaven, heaven, here we go, and Ed Lee died. Oh, it's a sad song, the reality of all of us. But somebody else lived that these days, who it is we do know. This is where I was going to tell you early on, I decided to save it. There's a woman named Miss Carol. She lives there. Now, she got a little mobile home next to Ed Lee's old dilapidated house, because he built it out of parts of other people's houses. And he actually painted it, but he was like an early recycler, obviously, but also he'd find paint remnants, didn't care what color it was. He made sure the house was painted, but it looked more like the Partridge Family bus. All right, first of all, how many people know where Alabama is? All right. I wasn't too proud of that. I mean, geography of the United States. So if you get yourself in Alabama, go to the capital, Montgomery, head down toward Mobile, Alabama on I-65. You'll see a Bruton Repton exit sign. Take that sign, it's Highway 41. Go through Bruton, head south down toward Pensacola, Florida. Go over the Connecticut River Bridge. There's a little crossroad town right there. It's called Riverview, consists of two buildings. There's a dirt road to the left. Take that dirt road, when it comes to a T, instead of taking a left, go to the boat launch, and you take a right 3 houses down on the left. Knock on the door and ask for Miss Carol. She'll take you into the backyard. Grayson Cap sent me. She said, yeah, I know, come on. Said, get some chicken shoes on. And she lets you find, because all the hurricanes have come through, most of the fence is gone, but there's pieces of the fence all in between her house and the Connecticut River. You might find 4 or 5 bottles stuck together. It looks like some kind of modern art that you would have paid $2,000 for at Santa Rosa Beach, Florida. But she'll give it to you for free. Clean it up and it'll look pretty nice. We're going to walk around the yard. Chickens
in his yard, y'all can tell. That's when the chicken hawk come flying. Corky Hughes. Oh, Lord. How y'all doing? Y'all doing all right? Better now. Me too. It takes two to tango. Let's see here. I can do Arrowhead. Yeah, I like because I never write a set list unless it's like a 30-minute set. I got to really be concise. Arrowhead. I moved. I lived in New Orleans for 20 years. I moved there 1985, and I was 18 years old when I moved there. Went to Tulane University, and I got a degree in theater. It's a BFA, and that means bad fucking attitude. I almost went for the MFA. You better be glad I didn't. So 2005 happens, and we ended up getting displaced and got embraced by Nashville really heavily, and bought a house in between Natchez Trace Bridge and Highway 100 on 96, if y'all know what I'm talking about. It's Franklin. Got a barn converted into a house, and there's the Little East Fork Creek flowing in the backyard. We have 11 acres of land with a mountain and a cave in the backyard. It was called Pritchard's Cave, and it was a triage place for soldiers in the Civil War and for Native Americans before that, because it had a freshwater spring coming out of it, and so constant 60 degrees inside, fresh water coming through, beautiful. I remember sitting in my back, I had a little studio downstairs, and I was looking out my window, and I was thinking about how the Native Americans had used that. I could tell there were signs in the cave. I went splunking several times, and I was thinking, man, I've never found an arrowhead before. And I kind of came up with a song. I started thinking of my children as the focal point of my life, and that is the arrowhead that I was looking for. And so I wrote this song. It's called Arrowhead. I look around at the first signs of spring, willow trees pushing out leaves of light green. I got a cave in my backyard, reminds me of all the scary and dark. Tennessee mountains and slate-bottom streams roll down my brain and float in my dreams. I've never found an arrowhead before. There's a blue heron out there, he's eating snails, eats the whole thing, even the shells. Walking through amaranth and blackberry vines, down by the water with a bottle of wine. Tennessee mountains and slate-bottom streams roll down my brain and float in my dreams. I've never found an arrowhead before. Black-eyed girls say she my friend, she gon' be there till the end. But I've never found an arrowhead before. Well, you can make a stone path to the other side. You can make waterfalls for ferries to ride. But when you get there, I just hope you know the dreams all around you and the rivers still flow.
I got me a daughter and I got me a son. I remember the days when I didn't have one, but I'd never found an arrowhead before. Cut like a razor and stab like a blade. It'll kill anything that's ever been made. Float through the wind and pierce the dark, right through the skin, right through the heart. But I've never found an arrowhead before. I look around me and I want to live. I got a farm in the country and a mortgage on a hayloft. Come visit me, hell, it ain't that far. We could go swimming right in the backyard. Tennessee mountains and slate bottom streams roll down my brain and float in my dreams. I'd never found an arrowhead before. Tennessee mountains and slate bottom streams roll down my brain and float in my dreams. I've never found an arrowhead before.
Yeah, Katrina happened, and it was expensive living up there on 11 acres. And then 2008 happened, and then my daddy got sick, and I was like, I moved back down south to Fairhope, Alabama. And I'll go back to New Orleans because when Katrina happened, everybody got out. It's 2005. It said whoever you were sleeping with on August 29th, 2005, you're married to now. That was my band. I kind of had like a revolving door of musicians, but then I got stuck with this band called the Stump Knockers. Good God. I mean, I felt responsible for their living for the next 5 years. But we were on the road, and that's when we watched all the shit go down. And everybody I knew got out except for one friend of mine was stuck there, and he had enough battery to text us. And last we heard of him, he ended up being okay, but last we heard of him is, you know, the National Guard had come through town to quell the gang violence because gangs had started to take over the town. He was holed up with a gun, a jug of water, and a phone in the corner of his house for several days. And I was like, so glad that we got out of there. Everybody got out except for that friend, and he finally got all right. Everybody got out except for my cat. Now, I just bought a house on Music Street in Gentilly, and I had a cat named Dude, and we could not go back in because martial law had been declared. 6 weeks go by, we can't go back, and I'm worried about Dude. But then I'm going back to the day that I remember where we cut Dude's balls off. And we brought him home, and then he got bit in the ass by the neighbor's dog. So he had 2 holes in his ass and no balls, all on the same day. And I'm thinking, he went under the house for 3 days, and he came out, and he's ready to go. I'm like, God damn, he's a tough little cat, you know. So I'm like, all right, Dude can handle himself for 6 weeks in New Orleans, you know. And finally, I'm able to go back home, and sure as shit, I get to my house, and spray painted on the house, it said, cat found. And it gave me a phone number, and I called it up. I'm like, God damn it. Dude was in Hammond, Louisiana. In a little cat carrier. I went and got him, and he was so happy to see me. He was covered in mud. And we took him back to Fairhope. What I'm saying is a golf cart kind of community, right? It's very... Well, the story ain't over with yet. so we took him back. I was displaced. We still, we could not live in New Orleans. And I was staying at my mother's house in Fairhope, and in New Orleans, I was a minority, and I was used to that, and kind of felt more comfortable in the world being a minority. Then I get to homogenous fucking Fairhope with golf carts and a bunch of white people, and it's just a little bit different, and it's okay. It's safe, and I let dude out, and he took off, and he was gone for a day, another day, and then the third day, I'm just fucking sad and freaked out that he'd survived fucking Katrina and Hammond, Louisiana, and then the golf cart community takes him down. So I'm like, I have to go look for him. So looking like I look, walking through Fairhope, Alabama, dude! Man, I see people looking through the little Leavenworth blinds and shit. They're going, man, baby, call 911. There's a hippie on acid out there. The dude, actually, he came back after the third day because I found out cats like to survey their area and kind of get comfortable. But we were not living there. We decided that's when we bought the house in Tennessee that I was telling you about. And I brought dude up there and let him out. 1 day, 2 days go by, same case scenario. And I'm thinking, he's going to come back on the third day. He didn't come back on the third day. My daughter's 5, my son is 1, and they're saying, where's dude? And I'm like, I'm going to go look for him. And this time it's different because there's a lot of land, but a lot of like kind of conservative Christian country stars living out there in these mansions. This time I'm on a 4-wheeler going through the woods. Dude! Dude! It's a little bit different out there because people are more like this. I didn't find dude this time. He didn't come home. My kids were like, where's dude? I said, look, this is what happened. Dude joined a jug band. And I was like, you know that possum named Willie that steals the strawberries? We named this little possum. And they said, yeah, I know Willie. He's like, well, Willie, he's the leader of this jug band. He plays mandolin, and he's got a little squirrel that plays banjo and a deer that plays guitar. And so dude took up the number 3 washtub bass, ladies and gentlemen. So he's playing number 3 washtub, got those little claws and stuff, and they were satisfied with that, and I was too. I was like, because I said, look, he's going across the United States spreading the gospel of Woody Guthrie. And they're like, hell yeah. And I didn't really think that would stick, but about a year and a half ago, my daughter, she plays in a jug band in Bristol, England, and it's called the Swamp Puppies. And there's another called the Clay Bottom Jug Busters. She plays upright bass in. She has another band called the Mud Club. You wouldn't think she grew up in Louisiana, right? And she texted me about a year and a half ago. She said, Dad, look at my new tattoo. And I was like, all right. And right here she got dude tattooed right here of him playing the number 3 washtub bass. And so it stuck, So anyway, and what I'm getting to is this song about the band was called Willie Sugar Caps. They went across the country spreading the gospel of Woody Guthrie and helped me sing this ode to dude and Willie. It's a 4-part harmony. So we'll start with Willie. It goes like this: Willie. Willie, Willie, Willie. Like that, and we're going to do sugar too. So, sugar, 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 sugar. And it's not just entertainment, it's education too, ladies and gentlemen. I'll teach you some Italian before we get through with this. For the gentleman to reach that Willie, you got to put a capitasto on the testicolo. Capito. Yeah, you just learned some Italian, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Willie, 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 Willie. You've been gone too long, boy. Sugar, 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 sugar. Woo! Get yourself on home, child.
Get yourself on home. Now pick up your guitar and sing us all a song about the people that you've seen, places that you've gone. Tell us all the news from across this land. Show us all the calluses you got on your hands. Willie, beautiful. Hey, hey. You've been gone too long, boy. Here we go. Sugar, sugar, sugar. Get yourself on home, child. Get yourself on home. Now pick up your rap steel, pick up your mandolin, and give us a little bit of banjo, some sweet violin. Folks are suffering all across this land. Woody Guthrie's long gone. We need your helping hand. Willie, sound right now. You've been gone too long, boy. Sugar, sugar, sugar. Woo! Get yourself on home, child. Get yourself on home. Come on home. Now sing your songs of angels, sing your songs of love. Give us your sweet music to help us rise above. Rise above poverty, rise above greed, rise above hypocrisy, above disease. Willie, 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 Willie. You've been gone too long, boy. Sugar, 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 sugar. Get yourself on home, child. Get yourself on home. Y'all sound beautiful. Thank you for singing that. Sit with the little back patch and stuff. Interrupted the solo. All right, here we go. Willie, 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 Willie. Woo! You've been gone too long, boy. Sugar, 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 sugar. Woo! Get yourself on home, child. Get yourself on home, child. You've been gone too long, boy. Get yourself on home, dude. You've been gone too long. We got about 3 or 4 minutes is what I said, because there's a wonderful band coming on after us, and
I'm playing an earlier show at the train station tomorrow, and then me and Corky will be playing again tomorrow night, and we'll try not to repeat any damn songs tomorrow. But anyway, I'll leave you kind of uplifted. I was talking about New Orleans, and early on I was telling you about Washboard Lisa, and I'm thinking now 3 or 4 minutes left, and here I am talking. I'm like, God damn it. But it'll be a short song. So that song, I just want to preface this song, next song I'm going to do. I met Lisa, and she invited me to her house, and it was on a Tuesday, and she had a party, and I got to the house, and there was shoes and socks on the porch, and breeches, and skirts, and panties, and bras, and shit, and I looked at the sign on the door, it said, "Welcome to Naked Tuesday." I look in there, there's a bunch of hairy-ass street musicians, and they're all butt naked in there, and it's a shotgun house, you can see straight through the damn thing, and in the front room, about 5 people going, gets to getting down, and then in the next room I can see people like, but I'd written that song, Washboard Lisa, and I really wanted to play it for Lisa, and I let go of my ego, and I joined the naked party, but I was glad that I played guitar. So kind of walk in like, is Lisa around? They're like, she's holding court in her bedroom. I'm like, oh wow. And I went back there, and she was absolutely beautiful, naked in there, and I find myself in the perfect case scenario. I'm naked with Lisa in her bedroom, in her bed. But there's only a problem. There were 7 other naked people in there wanting to know what key the damn song was in. I played that song for her. I said, and I thought for sure she's going to fall in love with me. Say, I love that song. I love you. Instead, when I finished, she goes, I hate that song. That song makes me sound too cute. I mean, I was like, whoa. Talking about the manhood kind of shriveling up a little bit, being glad again that I played guitar. I hung around a little bit longer. My feelings were hurt. Everything was hurt. And I found out that they had Naked Tuesday every Tuesday. So I wrote another song for her and came back the next Tuesday, and she liked this one better. It was like that. Woo! So you're walking down the street today, baby looks so fine. The way you shake that thing, baby, gon' break my mind. I know you don't know who I am, and I know you don't even care. If that's the case, baby, please put on some underwear. Now there you go. This is a song just for you. This is a song just for you. Ooh. This is a song just for you. This is a song just for you. You gotta be well hung to play the trombone. Song process. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Sit bop bop oh yeah, yeah. Oh, 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 oh. You got the devil in your dragon's eye. You got a black girl in your ass. I like the way you drink your wine from a coffee glass. But you got to give it to me, because you can't take it with you when you go. I'm an old dog, baby, please let me lay on the floor. This is a song just for you. This is a song just for you. Ooh. This is a song just for you. This is a song just for you.
me, I want to